What is going on? What is going on? This is Mike Clark. Hot topic today. Something I want to get off my chest. Something I read that sparked what I wanted to speak about today. If you guys don't know, Bed Bath and Beyond, borderline bankrupt, borderline bankrupt. However, some private investors actually came in. They're contemplating saving it, and I want to talk about it. All right. Today we're going to talk about the role of private investors, big companies, what a private investor can do for you, and saving a company from bankruptcy and how they can help bring it back to life. First off, we need to understand the cause of bankruptcy. We need to understand that there are many reasons why a company may go bankrupt. It could be due to poor management, a decline in the market, a lack of funds, high debt, or a combination of these factors. The important thing is to understand that bankruptcy is not always a sign of failure. So, why do most small businesses feel like it is a sign of failure? At what level do we consider bankruptcy being a failure? Because in my eyes, I do sometimes feel like it is a failure. It makes you feel like you're failing at something. But if we think about it, understanding business is its own entity, it's its own body, it's its own self. Sometimes that thing has to die off for something new to prosper and become bigger and better, right? It's often a sign of that the company needs a fresh start and a new strategy and maybe a different approach to doing businesses. And if you guys don't know, man, I've done a bunch of different startups, a bunch of different side gigs, a bunch of different um, business model templates. You're just trying to figure out how to maneuver in this entrepreneurial world and understand there's not always a bunch of wins. Sometimes you get a bunch of losses before you get any wins. And you start to understand that, man. Like, you might not be able to get a business off the ground. You might not be able to get that startup, that hobby off the ground because there's so many different things, so many different variables that come with entrepreneurship, with businesses. And you have to understand that. So now that we understand what the term of bankruptcy is, right? I want to go into what investors are, and if we're going to go a little bit past that and kind of wrap it back into Bed Bath and Beyond, right? So, private investors, for some of you guys that don't know, private investors can actually provide financial support and expertise that a company needs to turn things around. They can help reduce debt, restructure the business, and bring in new management. But perhaps most importantly, private investors can bring a new perspective and a fresh set of eyes to the table. Of course they can. They're putting their money in there. They're going to want to do all of that, man, because guarantee if those investors come in, they're going to change what the hell you were doing prior. Okay? So they can help identify areas for improvement and provide guidance on how to maximize the company's strengths and opportunities. So think about this. Bed Bath and Beyond is borderline bankrupt. As an investor, I don't understand how you would want to invest in a business that's on the decline. However, I understand that there's a whole infrastructure already set, and if you could just get the right personnel or right management or like I said, new strategy that could help prosper the business. But understand too, man, and a lot of people don't like this. I feel like well, I think not even I feel I think what's going to happen is they're going to end up coming in. Of course, the immediate thing is to downsize, cut all losses, and let's get a baseline. And I believe that's what's going to happen immediately. Which so some employees who've been working there for years might be saying, "Yay, somebody's coming in to save us." But our capitalistic society, man, it's great, and then it's not. It just it's all how you look at it, right? You know, it's all about risk versus reward. And private investors understand that there is a greater risk involved in investing in a company that's struggling, but the potential reward is much higher. If they can help turn a company around and make it profitable again, the return on their investment could be significant. It also has an opportunity for them to use their expertise and make positive impact on a business that they believe in. So it's a double-edged sword, you know what I'm saying? So everything's about risk. And if you understand that you can invest in a business that's failing and somehow you can help turn that around or be a part of turning that around, what does that do for you personally, professionally, and as an investor moving forward? These are stories, these are things that we hear, we see in movies, but we don't actually talk about it. You know, not, we're not all running around with an MBA. We're not all running around with that entrepreneur mindset. However, how can you use this in your real life? That's how I look at this. When I read stories like this, I mean a story, this is real life. How can I apply this? Because, you have to do something to rejuvenate your personal finances. You have to do something to give yourself a new strategy on how to grow and become prosperous, responsible adult. And this right here is something that can help you. You just tuning into a podcast like this, you just starting to read work a Wall Street Journal, you just starting to do more and more research on just basic economics. It's important at some point to find a private investor who is a good fit for your company. You want someone who understands your business, shares your vision, and has expertise to help you succeed. But see that you gotta understand too, it's a game, right? And everybody knows if you see that person hurting and you know they're hurting, sometimes you can take advantage of them, and that's where we get low. So when I'm speaking about a business such as Bed Bath and Beyond, how yes, it's a successful business at one point, but now you don't know who's coming in to try to take over the company, what their intentions are, what they want to change, what they want to do. I just want you guys to understand, man, that if we bring it back just to the personal side, you know, a solid plan is essential to the success of any business, but it's especially important for a company that is facing bankruptcy. The plan should be outlined, the steps that will be taken to the company, the timeline for implementing these steps, and the metrics that will be used to measure success. These are things that I am learning on a day-to-day basis when it comes to my businesses. You know, developing metrics, analyzing what I'm actually doing. Am I doing it properly? Am I being organized? It's getting to the point that I'm trying to see where's wasteful spending happening. And like I said, if you bring that down and you just bring that to a micro level of just yourself, what am I doing personally where I can avoid filing bankruptcy? I can make sure I'm successful. I can make sure that when I retire, I'll have my 2 point something million dollars at the time of retirement, which is going to take care of me all the way over to the afterlife. This is what I want you guys to talk about. That's what I want you to be more hungry about information like this. And I want you to take 2023 and prosper. But my ultimate thoughts with Bed Bath and Beyond is I'd let it go. I believe, I think that it's a dead company. Now, if they restructure it, rename it, maybe a lot of stuff is starting to change. I mean, it has a lot of history with Bed Bath and Beyond. Like I said, if you guys don't know, two men actually started this long, long, long time ago. They actually been pushed out of this company, and a lot of changes that they first put inside of this company was removed thanks to management after they left. So I don't know how they fix this. I really don't, because I believe anyone else that comes in is going to do the exact same way moving forward. And I think Bed Bath and Beyond, from a business standpoint, from a business model structure of how do you feel like when you walk into Bed Bath and Beyond, what should you be exposed to? What should they be selling? I don't believe they understand that part. And I don't know if they know how to keep up at this point when you have all this competition. It's not just, when Bed Bath Beyond came out, wasn't that competition wasn't great. I feel like now it's super saturated at this point, and I don't know how they even keep up. But that's just my tidbit on it. You guys already know, man. Mike Clark, no excuses. We're gonna be back at it. We're gonna talk about the next episode. So you already know what it is. Peace.